Hey guys, it's Meg. What's up? What's poppin'? Welcome to the podcast. And welcome to the last episode of Spooktober this season. Every spooky season, we hear of spooky superstitions. So what are some people believe in? And the source I used, which is really funny, it's sunmark.org, and it's actually a credit union site. But they had so much information, so we're gonna roll with it. The first superstition is black cats. In the Middle Ages, people often associated black cats with the devil and even blamed them for the Black Plague. There's also a belief that witches uses alley cats as companions and quote-unquote familiars, which are just animal-shaped spirits that help with magic. During the Salem witch trials, people believed witches could turn into cats, typically black cats. There's also a Scottish fairy tale that tells of the cat Scythe, who is a giant black cat that can steal a dead person's soul before God can take it. That's a lot for black cats alone, and it's a lot of negativity, but there's actually one positive thing that I found. In Germany, a cat that crosses in front of you left to right is a sign of good luck, but only left to right. Number 2, I actually thought this was so interesting and I never heard of this before, but ghost in bed sheets. So the Celtic festival Samhain, I feel like this whole season I have not been pronouncing it right. Anyways, during this festival, spirits are extremely active. So you may be wondering, why do we draw ghosts as haunted bed sheets? This is why. Ghosts used to be drawn as how they looked when alive, but audience members couldn't tell a difference between the dead and the living. So during the 19th and 20th century, artists started drawing ghosts by covering them in burial shrouds, the graves, I'm pretty sure that's what it is, which look like modern-day bed sheets. Hey, what's up? It's Editing Meg. So a burial shroud is actually not the tombstone, so ignore all the comments I'm about to make as the episode goes on. But it's actually a long piece of cloth or fabric used to wrap the body of a deceased person. And I did not look up images because I'm going to be honest, I got too scared. That is so interesting to me. That's why we draw ghosts as bedsheets, because they used to be drawn behind tombstones, like hidden. Number 3, witches. There is a lot of history here, and we actually did a whole podcast on witches last Spooktober. Do you think I looked this up? No. So editing Meg? The witch episode was from season 7, episode 8, if you want to go back and listen to it. Thank you for that. But I actually did not cover this next section in that episode. So our pop culture witch comes from the pagan goddess, the crone, aka the Old One or Earth Mother. She was honored at Samhain because she is a symbol of wisdom, change, and new seasons. Celts believe souls enter the crone's cauldron after death and wait there to be reincarnated. The crone stirred the cauldron so new souls could enter and old souls could be reborn. That is insane to me. I have never heard that before, and I love that. That is so fun, so cool. Broomsticks. This is... Do we need a trigger warning here? There might be a trigger warning here. I don't know. We're 10 seasons in, and I don't know what classifies for trigger warnings and what I have to warn people about. But anyways, legends say witches use herbs like henbane in their potions. I think they also used, I want to say it's called belladonna. There's a book about it. Not about it, but there's a book with the same title, and I can picture the book, and I'm pretty sure the book is called belladonna. So maybe Editing Meg comes in again to clear that up for us. Apparently, belladonna is actually known as deadly nightshade. Isn't that in Nightmare Before Christmas? But basically, it is an extremely poisonous plant that, and I quote, has a long and colorful history of use and abuse. And why do I want to do a podcast episode on this plant now? That just seems like so fun. But that also seems like I'd be put on the FBI most wanted list. So we're not going to do it. Or maybe we will. Let me know. But regardless, these herbs had psychoactive effects like hallucinations in them. So it supposedly intensified their magic. The story of Ireland's first accused witch, Lady Alice Kettler. Apparently, authorities found a pipe of such an ointment greased on a broom handle which she used to lather on her nether regions. You heard that right. Other stories say that witches, quote-unquote, anointed hairy parts of their bodies with wooden staffs covered in hallucinogenics. But these stories came from accused witches who were tortured, so it was definitely probably not true. Number 4, bats. The fires during, I need to look this up because I have to say this word like 80 times and I feel like I'm pronouncing it wrong. I think it's Samhain. I've been saying salmon this whole thing. It's Samhain. That festival. Should we just call it the Celtic Festival from now on and you'll understand what I'm saying? We'll just go with that. During this festival, they would light fires, and these fires would attract a lot of bugs. What would get attracted from the bugs? Bats. Bats got attracted because they were feasting on the bugs. It is also said that bats' blood was used in witches' ingredients for drugged anointments. And in medieval times, bats were viewed as harbingers of death and familiars for witches. I don't know why they associate bats with death. It did not say. I tried looking this up, and it's still very up to your own interpretation, it seems like. Some say that bats can symbolize death and rebirth, and it also said that they got connected to death because of their links to vampires. Number 5, vampires. I'm definitely going to pronounce this wrong, but there is a... We'll just do this. There is a Chinese superstition that evil... Actually, I don't know if superstition is the right word. I wrote Chinese jiangxis, who are evil spirits that attack people and drain life energy. And there's also a blood-sucking demon in India. It is said that Spanish explorers discovered that some bats drank animal blood, which connected bats to vampires. And then there is the famous Count Dracula by Bram Stoker in 1897, which connected vampires and bats together and is a superstition. We also did a whole podcast episode on vampires too, and I did not write that down. I am doing really bad this episode. Editing Meg needs to come in a lot. The vampire episode was also from season 7, but it was episode 6 if you want to go back and listen to that spooky episode. Thank you for that. Number 6, the full moon. Backdrops for many horror movies use a full moon with an eerie mist over it. There is also witch lore, which says that magic is most powerful during this time. Number 7, cemeteries. Urban legends say that you need to hold your breath when driving by a cemetery, so you don't, and I am not making this up, this is apparently a real belief people have out there, that you hold your breath so you don't, 1, wake a spirit, 2, make a spirit jealous, or 3, inhale a spirit. I have no words. We're just going to move on to number 8, which is Halloween costumes. So during that Celtic festival that I cannot pronounce the name of, and I just am giving up, guys, I'm giving up. People would wear costumes to disguise themselves and blend in with the spirits. Number 9, Friday the 13th. The number 13 has been viewed as cursed for centuries, which I don't understand. I love the number 13. That is my lucky number. The code of... I can't even read my own handwriting. The code of Hammurabi, Babylonian code of law. Oh, the code of Hammurabi and the Babylonian code of law skips the 13th law. Egyptians associate the number 13 with the afterlife, but they say the root of the fear of number 13 actually comes from October 13th, 1307, which was when French King Philip IV ordered for mass arrest for members of the Knight Templar. I really need to work on my handwriting. This mass arrest actually led to hundreds of executions, which is why people say we're scared of the number 13. Number 10, owls. So the feathers on their head make them look like little horned devils. There's also a Greek and Roman superstition that claims, going back to the witches can turn into owls and suck babies' blood. Owls are messengers for sorcerers, and if you hear an owl hoot, then a witch is coming. I don't know why we're so scared of witches. Like, it just does not make sense to me. Number 11. I don't want to do this one because I hate this one, but spiders. Did you hear that? Maybe if I whisper it again. Spiders have the ability to spin web, which folklore views them as storytellers and fortune tellers. They also assist witches in casting spells, and eating a black one, I don't want to say it because I'm stuck in a little closet, and if one pops up right now, I have nowhere to go. I will be getting hurt. So if you eat a black one between 2 slices of buttered bread, it apparently gives a witch great power. And there's a medieval superstition that says if you see one on Halloween, it's the spirit of a dead loved one watching you. And no, we're not done yet. Number 12 is jack-o'-lanterns, which we just did a whole podcast episode this season on jack-o'-lanterns. It was episode 7, I'm pretty sure, if you want to go back and look at that. But there is a Celtic tale known as Stingy Jack. I said it right this time, guys. And basically, there's this guy who kept tricking the devil, and he ended up getting banished from both heaven and hell, and the devil handed him a little light and said, "Be gone." And he took this light and put it inside of a turnip. And that is how we have jack-o'-lanterns. And the very last superstition we're going to talk about is number 13, which is kind of ironic that we had 13 superstitions for this episode. But it is the colors orange and black. So during this pagan harvest celebration, orange was worn because it represented the colors of crops and changing leaves, and black was to signify the quote-unquote death of summer and changing of seasons. And those are some 13 superstitions about Halloween, spooky season. Have you heard of some of these? I've heard of some of these. We've obviously heard of jack-o'-lantern ones because we just did a whole podcast episode on those. Some of the witches ones I did not know, and that I think that is so cool that she's based off a goddess. That just gives her a whole new meaning, whole new powerful meaning to me. Bats, I didn't know all that, I feel like. These are fun though. Did you like them? And the fact that we got these from a credit union blows my mind. So, the next time spooky season rolls around and you're hearing some of these superstitions, maybe you believe in some of these superstitions, just know they've been here for a long time. Some of them have deep-rooted history. Some of them are fun, some of them are weird, but we'll probably have them for a very long time. Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of Hey Guys, It's Meg. You can follow Hey Guys, It's Meg _podcast on Instagram for updates and good times. Come back next Monday at 9 a.m. where I'm 99% sure we're going to talk about this bag charm trend that is going around everywhere. I'll see you on the flip side. Peace out, Girl Scouts.